Back Sunday in Milwaukee. Tonight, the Phillies in town. 12 games below 500. Are they in the playoff race? Out, probably. Steven Strasburg takes the ball in the opener on Masson.
Washington Nationals baseball. Washington Nationals baseball.
My, how things have changed. The Nats had to take back the park earlier this season. Now some fans tonight may look at the Phillies lineup and wonder, who are some of these Philadelphia Phillies? The Nats on top. Atlanta won last night during the Nats' day off. And the Phillies are way down there and a long way to go, and they've traded away Hunter Pence and Shane Victorino today. So this year was maybe supposed to be a Nats transition year to a great season next year. Looks like that's ahead of schedule. And meanwhile, the Phillies have really kind of fallen off the table in the NL East.
Yeah, after what happened today with all the trades, you're just wondering how many buses whip U-turns coming down from Philadelphia today to go back.
Yeah, their fans have been infiltrating our ballpark as enemy spies for a lot of years. But tonight, the ones that come here get to watch Steven Strasburg. Really threw the fastball effectively in New York last week, and he was basically unhittable.
He throws the fastball 63% of the time during the season so far. Against the Mets last outing, he threw it 71% of the time. You're seeing a lot of out pitches right now, changeups and curveballs, but it was all set up by the fastball from Strasburg, and it was a big one, 95 to 98 miles an hour right from the get-go. And the thing that impressed me most is after a couple of Mets hit that fastball, he stayed with it and had great command.
And, of course, who would have thought that Steven would have 10 wins more than the established superstar veteran Cliff Lee at this stage of the season?
Yeah, last time out, Cliff Lee gave up 6 runs on 12 hits, 4 home runs to the Milwaukee Brewers. Command has been a problem, and maybe some focus, too. It's a guy that's used to pitching for first-place teams, and right now he isn't.
Danny Espinosa hits in front of Michael Morse tonight with Ryan Zimmerman off for the night. And Michael, 6 hits, 2 walks, a couple of homers, 6 RBIs, the big blow in Milwaukee. On base 8 times in Wisconsin. He's back in the district tonight. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, some afternoon showers turning into a beautiful evening here at the ballpark. The Nats are back home where they're 28-19 on the year. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Some humidity with the showers earlier today, but a very comfortable 84 for this one tonight. When the Nats come up in the bottom of the first, we'll give the lineup without Ryan Zimmerman and Adam LaRoche. Christina, what's the story with those two?
Well, Bob, both Adam and Ryan are dealing with back issues. Adam, of course, came out of Sunday's game with some spasms, feeling better today, but Davey just wanted to give him an extra day off. According to Davey Johnson, Ryan hurt his back sliding into home on Sunday, still feeling it today, getting treatment, and as always, Davey just being better safe than sorry and giving Ryan the day to rest that back and make sure it's nothing too serious, but not real much concern from the skipper today.
That's good news. Ryan on that bang-bang play in extra innings. Home plate blocked by Martin Maldonado in Milwaukee. Ryan Howard struggling this year, but he's always done big-time damage against the Nats. 35 homers, 108 RBIs in 119 games. He's 0 for his last 8. 12 for 56 in 17 games. Says coming off the DL with that Achilles, and Chase Utley is 0 for 6. He's hitting .285. So right now, the Phillies, a shell of the team that Steven Strasburg has faced twice in his career. 2 starts, no decisions, a 3.48 ERA against the Phils.
And last time out Wednesday at New York, earned his 11th win of the year. Gave up 1 run on 4 hits over 7 innings, struck out 11, walked nobody through 94 pitches, 63 for strikes. So 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, averaging close to 96 miles an hour, and then the curve and the change to go with it. Let's check out our Mazda defensive alignment tonight behind Steven Strasburg. Morris Bernardino Harper in the outfield. Espinosa DeRosa on the left side. Lombardozzi Moore on the right side. And Jesus Flores doing the catching. Mazda engineered for the few who care about what they drive and the way it makes them feel, because if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building.
Well, Mark DeRosa gets the start for Ryan Zimmerman at third. Mark's played over there for the Nats this year on several occasions. And, of course, Tyler Moore is a natural first baseman. Maybe Davey thought about putting Michael Morse over there and Moore in left field, but Tyler's a very good defensive guy as well as the lively bat.
Yeah, the 2 guys that have been carrying the team lately have sore backs. Go figure.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's Michael Morse's turn. He's been carrying the ball club pretty well. Tim McClellan, crew chief, 30-year veteran, has the plate tonight. 16-year man, Ted Barrett, 13-year veteran, Marvin Hudson, first and second base respectively. And the rookie umpire has third. That's Jordan Baker. Jimmy Rollins leads off for the Phils, batting .251 with an on-base percentage of .309. He's 0 for his last 9, and he's 0 for 5 career against Strasburg, who throws the first pitch of the game right down the middle. We're underway at 7:07 in our nation's capital. So Rollins at .251, the Phillies 6th in the league at .257, 9th in runs and 9th in home runs. And they lost some of their offensive spark today. The speed of Shane Victorino and his defense, and the power of Hunter Pence. For now, replaced with young players and a veteran from their organization. And Nate Scherholtz, who comes over from the Giants tomorrow. That's out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Hunter Pence hitting .271, nearly 60 RBIs. Shane Victorino, he'll give the Dodgers a spark. He was 24 out of 28 in stolen bases. Strasburg 1-2 on Jimmy Rollins. Swing and a miss on the 90-mile-an-hour changeup to start the night.
I talked to a few Phillies coaches today, and they were wondering, how the team would react to losing 2 of its best players today. Would they come out fired up? Would they come out flat? It's an adjustment period as you look at the nasty 90-mile-an-hour changeup to strike Rollins out. The adjustment period whenever you lose a couple of guys that have been keys to your team, keys to your organization, especially Shane Victorino for a long time.
Here's Juan Pierre. You might have noticed on that replay, that changeup ricocheted from the heel of Flores' glove all the way down to the web. Even the changeup can be tough to catch. Thing barely stayed in there. And Juan Pierre will just pull that ball and hit a nice one-hopper out to Bryce Harper. And the Phillies have their first man aboard with Utley and Howard coming up. It's been a long road back for these 2 guys, huh?
Juan Pierre mentioned in a bunch of trades today. There are some rumors that he was going to the Reds.
They did pick up Jonathan Broxton to further shore up their bullpen. Nats are a half game better than the Reds, who lost last night. They're 61-41. The Nats have 40 losses. They lead the Pirates by 3. The Nats lead the Braves by 3.5. In Atlanta, winning again last night. They've won 6 straight. They host the Marlins again this evening. Ricky Nolasco and Chris Medlin in that one. Medlin out of the bullpen, and now Utley with a base hit to left. So Strasburg gives up half the hits already he gave up in New York last Wednesday. And he faces Ryan Howard now.
Yeah, just a fastball away, 94 miles an hour. Utley does a nice job of getting on top of that pitch, serving it to left. So a couple of hard hit balls here in the first by the Phillies.
Ryan Howard 1 for 2 career. And with that base hit, Chase Utley 1 for 3 against Strasburg. Ryan Howard is not a ground ball hitter, but if you can make him pound one into the turf, you've got a great chance for a double play. That's going to be Lombardozzi. Oh, look at Espinosa! Yes, sir! 4-6-3. And part of that because Ryan Howard simply cannot run very fast these days. But that's a great double play.
In just a second, but let's check out that inning-ending double play one more time. Great play by Lombardozzi, diving to get to this ball, got up to his knees quick. Perfect feed. Espinosa getting rid of it quick, but watch Danny Espinosa clear himself. Chase Utley coming to get him. Nice job of clearing himself. Underhand throw, good stretch by Tyler Moore, but look at Chase Utley. And everybody around the league knows that that guy is going to come and get you on a double play. Espinosa knew that, cleared himself. And Strasburg loved it. Best part about that double play, after giving up 2 hits on fastballs, Strasburg went first pitch fastball to Ryan Howard and got a double play.
Not afraid to throw it with men on base. So here's Cliff Lee, 3-2 career in 5 starts against the Nats with a 2.89 ERA. Just having a crazy season. His ERA is under 4, but he's 1-6. And we'll get the lineup set for you in a moment. Lombardozzi batting .208 right-handed, with Danny Espinosa batting third. Lombardozzi, who usually bats further down against left-handers, up at the top of the lineup tonight. And he fights off the fastball and quickly 0-2 from Cliff Lee, who's won 120 Major League games.
You can't teach what Danny Espinosa just did on that double play. I mean, that's all baseball instinct. That's all feel right there. You don't have time to look at the runner. You just feel his presence. And to move out of the way like that, for a guy that hasn't played that much shortstop, very impressive.
And if you don't, and that runner gets a piece of you, you might airmail the throw, and then they score a run because there's a guy heading for third base. That was dandy. The Nats, their 81st of the year. And a 1-2 to Lombardozzi, who fights it off. Fastball sails way upstairs. 2-2. Only 5 hitters in the Nats lineup tonight have ever hit against Cliff Lee. Lombardozzi, Harper, Moore, and Strasburg have not. We'll take that one low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So he'll see at least 7 pitches in this first AB. Good career ERA, 3.67. Lee makes his 268th start, actually, 278 overall appearance. And now this is really turning into a great at-bat for Lombardozzi.
You know, last time out, the 24th against Milwaukee, Lee received a no decision, gave up 6 runs on 12 hits over 7 innings. Gave up 4 home runs. Talking to the Phillies people today, they said at times the command just hasn't been there. The stuff has been good all season long.
That's outside. What a fantastic at-bat by your leadoff guy. See your authorized Dodge dealer. Experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup. So Danny Espinosa, 700 career hitter against Cliff Lee, gets Zimmerman's spot tonight. Tyler Moore gets bumped up where Adam LaRoche would normally be hitting. And so it's Moore and DeRosa in there tonight. As the Nats try to load up on right-handed batters, but here's left-handed Bryce Harper, and Davey Johnson doesn't even think about moving him around. That's a double play ball. Bryce is going to have to hurry, and then Rollins will just hold on to it. Lombardozzi got to him in a hurry, and that was a long first throw by Utley. So they trade places at first base, Harper and Lombardozzi.
You just saw Utley and Rollins. Let's check out the defense for the Phillies tonight. Pierre Mayberry, Nix in the outfield. Rollins, Kevin Franzen on the left side. Chase Utley, Ryan Howard on the right side. Carlos Ruiz doing the catching.
Kevin Franzen, a former Giant and Dodger 2 years ago. And we'll tell you more about him when he comes up to hit. Danny Espinosa, 3 homers, 5 RBIs against Cliff Lee on that 7 out of 10 we told you about. Danny's still hitting .313 in July, despite going 2 for 18 in that 4-game series at Milwaukee.
Well, I thought that last game in Milwaukee was one of Espinosa's best games as a big leaguer. Struck out 4 times. Was coming up his 5th time, had 2 strikes and got a base hit. And then he made the diving play up the middle on the Niger Morgan ground ball. It is tough to stay with it like that when you're having that tough a game. It just shows you the maturation process of Espinosa. Most big leaguers, even 10-year veterans, you're 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts, and you got 2 strikes your last time up. Just count that one, too.
Quickly 0-2 now, as Lee has been hitting some corners here. After walking Lombardozzi, and that foul ball takes off the All-Stars mask. Carlos Ruiz, who's having an amazing season himself. So let's check in on some game notes. Danny, .315 since the All-Star break. Steven Strasburg leads the major leagues, nearly 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. And the Nats averaging better than 5 1/4 runs per game this month. And remember, back in April and May, when we were begging for them to score 4 runs a game, because that was the magic level with this pitching staff.
It's all kind of clicking.
An amazing road record of 33-21 after a 6-1 trip to New York and Milwaukee, 7 here, and then on to Houston, Arizona, and San Fran, starting a week from tonight. Danny is 10th in the league with 26 doubles. And Michael Morse in the cleanup spot coming off a big series. Andy's riding a nice hitting streak of 8 games. 0-2 with 1 out. Espinosa skips back from that one. Marlins a first inning run at Atlanta. How about some help for a change? Somebody beat the Braves. Donnie Murphy, his 3rd homer of the season at Turner Field, has Miami on top. Espinosa chops one to short. Rollins and Utley, and a no throw there. So a couple of the base runners have done a good job of going after Phillies middle infielders, keeping the inning alive for the suddenly smashing Michael Morse.
You got a fastball away from Axford, 9-7 game. He said, I'm going to tie this up. Davey Johnson loved it. I don't think that'll ever get old watching Davey do that. And then coming up in the 11th with a big hit. Double down the line. That scored a couple. Put the Nats up 11-9, and that was all they would need. Just 11 runs.
Yeah, they needed both of those off the 2-run homer after the Brewers got 1 run in the 11th. So here's Michael Morse. 6 career hits against Cliff Lee with an RBI. And that's right in there. Short lead by Danny Espinosa, and Michael Morse will chop one. So Cliff Lee's got everybody hitting the ball in the dirt after that leadoff walk. A runner stranded and no score after 1. Your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. Good crowd gathering. The Nats drew over 440,000 fans, and that'll be including tonight for the month of July. They are 8th in the league, averaging 30,201 fans a game. Find out why the government turns to STG and find out why employees choose STG. Visit STGinc.com. This time not what pitches Steven throws, but where he throws them, the percentage, and what guys are hitting against him, and nobody handling much of anything when he gets in on their hands. Here's Carlos Ruiz having an all-star season, no doubt about that. Front door breaking ball stays inside. Ruiz, Nixon, Mayberry for the Phillies, top of the 2nd. So Carlos Ruiz comes into this season, his 7th in the big leagues, with a career batting average of .265, and he's hitting 80 points above that. Pretty much the guy who tried to hold this team together until Utley and Howard could come back.
But when you're having one of those years, 342, 14, 57, I mean, teams are focusing on you for obvious reasons, right? You're probably the best hitter in the lineup. And by teams focusing on you, now they're going to be more careful with you. And when you're more careful with a hitter, what happens? You're sitting in 3-1 counts more times than not because of what you've accomplished already in the season.
Is there nibbling, huh?
Yeah, this is the guy we got to be careful with. You got to get ahead. You know, it'll hurt you if you get behind. So pitchers are thinking about him because he's earned that respect. And now you walk up there, and it kind of snowballs. You find yourself in 2-0, 2-1 counts all season long.
He's had a career homer against Steven Strasburg, 1 for 2 in this matchup. Goes the other way and guides it right inside the line. Harper hustling and no chance to pick it up and make a throw to second. So Carlos Ruiz continues his great hitting. 28th double of the year.
I mean, he just reached out on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball and touched it to right. Pretty good location on the heater from Strasburg. In protect mode right there. Just flicks it down the right field line for a double. Hard to do on a 98-mile-an-hour heater.
Lance Nix, the former Nat, has had 53 at-bats for the Phillies in 28 games, and he has 16 hits. They'll be doing some starting in right field. They recalled outfielder Dominic Brown from Lehigh Valley today after losing Victorino. And supposedly he was going to be here at some point during the early part of the game. He was actually flying from Syracuse, where the Iron Pigs were scheduled to play the Chiefs tonight. Nick's couple of homers, 11 RBIs. 0 for 2 career against Steven Strasburg. Got around pretty well on that heater. And the count's 0-2. Not a lot of at-bats, but very good in situations like these. That one really bouncing out in front of the plate.
Great block by Jesus Flores. And to keep that ball soft and in front of him like that, that ricochets anywhere. Ruiz is on third base. Look at the form. Their feet together, put his hands straight down, created that angle, stayed soft, kept the ball right in front of him.
And a 1-2 is the strikeout. Strasburg's leading 153rd of the year. The capability Steven always has to get the K when he needs one.
Yeah, climb the ladder right here with the heat, 96 miles an hour. And Lance Nix can't catch up.
The ultimate triple play at Hollywood Casino Charlestown Races: slots, tables, and dining. So the average fastball just a little bit harder than David Price. Jeff Samardzija, top 3. Averaging 96. And here's John Mayberry, who's 0 for his last 15.
And I thought it was interesting to look at Strasburg's stats before the game, seeing that he, throughout the course of the season, has thrown the fastball 63% of the time, the curveball 20% of the time, the changeup 17%. But last time out, the fastball 71%.
Yep, that was 63 strikes and 94 pitches in New York. And that ball out away at 96, and all Mayberry could do was reach for it. Now Steven has him 0-2. 9 pitches, 6 strikes first inning. The double play helped a lot. But a double strikeout in this inning. In New York, the most economical start he's had for the pitch count all year.
Yeah, the fastball command was ridiculous. Just darting targets all day.
And I like the thing that you brought up a couple of times, the fact that even when he gives up hits on it, he's not going to get away from it and then start trying to trick everybody. Steve McCaddy has done a good job of convincing Steven to go with the heater. As good as anybody's in baseball. Now he does throw the changeup on occasion, and that time blocked out in front.
Well, last year a small sample size for Strasburg, but he threw the heater 74% of the time. But his first season in 2010, he only threw it 57% of the time. 26% curveball, 17% change.
Well, it might be one of the reasons he had a 1.50 ERA in those 5 September starts last year. Target in.
Well, maybe you throw that two-seamer. Stand Mayberry up a little bit and go with that curveball away right here in a 2-2 count.
Braves have scored a run to tie the Marlins in the bottom of the first, and they have the bases loaded with 2 outs. That is one hot ball club. 2-2 now. And a big breaking ball for the strikeout. 5 outs, 3 Ks, and a double play for Strasburg so far.
Nice sequence right there between Jesus Flores and Strasburg. You saw the two-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. Stand Mayberry up. Very effective pitch to get to that nasty curveball you're looking at right now.
Next up is Kevin Franzen, who the Phillies signed as a minor league free agent a year ago March. He spent the entire 2011 season at Lehigh Valley. Previous big league time, 4 years with the Giants. 54 games in 2010 with the Angels. And he skies this one to right center field. And that ball is leaving the ballpark. Kevin Franzen, his first home run in the big leagues since 2007, when he hit 5 for the Giants. And the Phillies surprised Strasburg and the Nats with 2 here in the second to the number 8 hitter.
Well, that's just one of those things where maybe you don't know the guy as well as you should. He's a first pitch fastball hitter, just got called up a couple of days ago. And Strasburg challenged him with the heat, let it get deep, went the other way. And just like that, 2-0 Phils. Home run to the 8-hole hitter, Kevin Franzen. Pretty good swing.
His 8th home run in the major leagues. That ball stroked to left pretty well. Michael Morse over to grab that drive by Cliff Lee. So first base was open when that home run was hit. Strasburg's going after guys tonight. Rosa and Flores coming up, bottom of the second. And to find out why employees choose STG, visit stginc.com. Phillies and the Nats going in different directions. For 4 years, Phillies won almost 60% of their games, the Nats 41%. A total turnaround this season. The Nats at 60%, the Phillies way down there at 28th in all of baseball.
It's a good run for the Phillies. It's not over yet. We talk about winning the National League East for 5 straight years. There's everything that has gone wrong for them this year, or that could go wrong, has. And nobody on the first base side really feeling sorry for them. But you have to respect the fact of what they've accomplished. You really do. It's not easy. Charlie Manuel's done a good a job as anybody in baseball by keeping that ball club together, but it just hasn't happened for him this year.
97 wins 2 years ago, 102 last year. Before that, 93 in 09, 92 in 08. Tyler Moore, first career at bat against Cliff Lee. He's hit .342 since his recall on June 7th. Cliff Lee goes changeup, 86. Tyler out ahead of it. Good to see Chad Tracy back in the clubhouse today. We wish Corey Brown well. He'll be back here in 4 weeks, I do believe.
Did a nice job.
Yeah. Tyler with a big cut.
There he is, Goon Squad captain. The band is back together.
6 for 18 as a pinch hitter with a homer and 9 RBIs. Some of the guys in the clubhouse today kidding him about Jordani Valdez being obliterating his pinch hitting numbers. That's a pretty good looking 1-2 fastball inside by Cliff Lee, and the count's 2-2.
I asked Chad, I said, well, how you feeling? Good to be back? Absolutely. He said, I'm just not running as good as I want to. And I said, well, that doesn't matter. Just get a pinch hit and get pitch run for. That's all that matters.
Yeah. 2-2 to Moore. Tyler turns on it, left side, and Kevin Franzen having himself a night here so far. We have a single admission doubleheader for you. 3 nights from now, the Marlins will be here. First game Friday, a makeup of April 22nd's rainout. 4:05, 7:05 game 2. That's first game permitting. Go to nationals.com/tickets. Check it all out. Hope you can join us for a long afternoon and evening of baseball. For 1 admission, you get 2 on Friday. Mark DeRosa goes up swinging. He's 9 for 57, but 6 for 20 since coming off the DL. And he's 1 for 3 career against Cliff Lee. Doesn't bite on that changeup, just off the plate. Well, thanks a lot, Marlins. The Braves just got 3 in the bottom of the first, after Miami had scored to take the lead. And that was off Ricky Nolasco. So the Nats have to keep taking care of their business. Jesus Flores in the 7-hole tonight against the left-hander. Roger Bernardina bats in front of the pitcher. And some pretty good gas there from Cliff Lee. That's his 113th strikeout of the year against 24 walks. 2 outs in the second, and Flores coming up.
93-mile-an-hour fastball, climb the ladder with it. Nice strike. Good pitch.
Nobody in America needed a day off yesterday more than Jesus Flores.
Well, maybe Bernie Brewer after going down that slide about 3 times in 1 inning, but I'll agree with you.
Yeah. Bernie wasn't getting pelted with fastballs on his way down. And that ball is pelted left center field. Jesus Flores has himself an extra base hit. 10 for 58 now in the month of July, and Jesus will check in with his 15th extra base hit of the year on double number 11.
Yeah, short, compact swing right to the baseball. And you could tell he was starting to see the ball a little bit better toward the end of the Brewers series. Gets a fastball. It's like a cutter. Started down the middle, broke to the inside half of the plate. Watch how short. Bam. 2-out double for Flores, and there goes the no-hitter.
Here's Roger Bernardina. This Shark thing's starting to catch on. You just really don't want to sit behind anybody who's a Bernardina fan, though. Roger, 375 at home this year. 382 against the National League East.
I like the Shark lids. I want one of those. I'll definitely rock that in the open tomorrow if you get me one.
It would look good on you.
I am not afraid to sport that. Nice.
Counts in his favor.
That's great.
Dun-dun. And that stays up and in. And Steven Strasburg, a right-handed batter, could get a shot against a lefty here.
You just got McClelland. It was a strike.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I forgot to wait 10 seconds.
Tim McClelland.
I thought the pitch looked high, and I called it myself.
Takes longer than any major league umpire to call a strike, and broadcasters absolutely love him for that reason.
He's my favorite. That is strike two.
There you go.
I would have walked him already. You know, and the poor guys operating the scoreboard, they're trying to figure it out. But Tim McClelland will do nothing to help anybody in the ballpark know what calls are. He's just not going to do it after 30 years.
That's his way, and he's going to do it. His style.
And people will tell you he's pretty accurate as a home plate umpire. Pretty good.
Well,
it's just the method of calling that's a bother. Look at that.
Well, if you're hitting Carp, you hear it before he says it. So as a hitter, you know right away whether it's a ball or a strike.
Cliff Lee gets 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Nats will strand Jesus Flores. Good pitch.
100% as he possibly can. The most important thing to him is that his swing feels great. He said, I'm ready to come off the bench and give a good at-bat. That's the most important thing to me now as far as sitting back and watching the team succeed. He said, it was tough. You don't want to be injured. You want to be a part of it. You want to help contribute. But it's also great to know that he's coming back and jumping right in to a team that's in first place. Jason Worth back here, too. Not ready to join the team as of yet. It sounds like he's going to have a couple of more rehab games, maybe 2 or 3, play a full 9 innings, but he's very close. Davey Johnson is hoping that he'll be back by the end of this homestand.
I'm standing next to Mike Rizzo during batting practice today, watching Jason Worth hit. He put on some kind of display in BP.
Well, Chad said that when they were together rehabbing, he would hit second. Boy, that ball is lashed by Jimmy Rollins. Right field, and Harper grabs it. Tracy was hitting second. Worth was hitting third. And Chad Tracy gave Jason Worth a hearty endorsement for swinging the bat and really looking good.
No, he looked more than 100% to me today watching BP, but BP obviously a lot different in the game.
So the Phillies, the first time through the order, go 4 for 9 against Strasburg. 2 singles, a double, a homer. Jimmy Rollins hit that ball well, and here's Juan Pierre, who singled to right on a swing early in the count. His first time up, and that's strike one. So Pierre now 3 for 6 with a walk, career against Strasburg, who wants to jam him here. And the foul ball goes straight back. Chase Utley is next here in the third. Strasburg goes change up on 0-2 to a well-traveled Juan Pierre. And I guess anytime July 31st rolls around, his name will be bandied about. He's been all over the map. Rockies, Marlins, Cubs, Dodgers, White Sox, Phillies over the years.
You see Strasburg tell himself right there, stay back. Getting a little quick on the changeup. Fastball command has been good. But kind of getting out there in front, overthrowing that changeup, and he's telling himself, stay back. Had a little stumble a couple of pitches ago. I don't think it bothered him right there.
And a 2-2 to Pierre, who just reaches out and bumps it foul. .296 career hitter. #1 active base stealer, and that was close. And the count goes to 3-2.
I think Juan Pierre actually thought it was a strike. He buckled him with a 2-2 curveball. Backdoored it. Looked good to me. Checking it out on Pitch Track. Had everybody fooled, maybe even Tim McClellan.
And thus, Pierre's 2 for 2. Boy, bad things seem to happen after a pitcher doesn't get a call on a 2-2 count. So he's aboard with Utley, and barring a double play, that guarantees Ryan Howard bats in the inning. Chase Utley got a fastball up and rode it into left field for a single, his first time. Utley's 10th big league season. It's been a rough one for him. And even last year he started the season on the DL with tendonitis in that right knee. Then he had a concussion in September. And the knees were barking during the offseason.
23 bags for Pierre. He's only been caught 4 times.
577 career stolen bases.
I think later in your career as a base runner, you really have to be selective of when you go. You know, earlier in your career, you're a speed guy. You can outrun bad jumps and mistakes.
He got a great jump. Strasburg tried to be quick to the plate, but Juan Pierre was off and running. And I'm surprised Jesus Flores made it that close. It was a really good throw.
He left before Strasburg picked up his leg. Did you see that? Half a step before Steven even went to home. And that's what I'm talking about. Later in your career, you got to cheat a little bit more. Get the great jumps where maybe early in your career, you could outrun mistakes like a bad jump. Perfect jump by Pierre.
And 1-0 to Utley now with the runner in scoring position. He's going to third. There's a shot, but it's a bad throw, and he will score. Jesus Flores gave Mark DeRosa no chance on that one. 2 steals and error on Flores, 3-0 Phillies.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of attention paid to Juan Pierre on second base right here. Got another monster jump. No look from Strasburg. With the lefty Utley up there, Flores had a clear lane, but that bag was stolen off Steven Strasburg.
Base is empty now, and the Phils by 3. They've out-hit the Nats 5-1. Strasburg to the windup for a 1-1 Utley. And that is a beauty on the inside corner.
I mean, word's out around the National League that you can run on the Nationals. We've seen it over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Teams have been taking advantage of that, creating runs for themselves.
And a high drive out to right center. Roger Bernardino to get under it.
And the kind of stolen bases we've seen recently, it's bam, bam. Guy gets to second, goes to third. You know, if he's a base stealer, not really waiting around and picking a pitch. It seems to be happening very quick.
Ryan Howard bats with the bases empty. Hit into a 4-6-3, a sparkling double play started by Lombardozzi. Well, you consider what Steve did with that play. If that double play doesn't get turned, the Phillies might be up 4 or 5 runs by now. .97 for a strike. The count's even. Ryan Howard's 18th game since returning. 4 homers, 9 RBIs. And that's outside, 3-1. The man who got the 2-run second starter with a leadoff double, Carlos Ruiz. That's pulling the string, 81. Wow, on a breaking ball. Even for one of Stevens' breaking balls, that's pretty slow.
81 miles an hour, 3-1 count, and drop it in there. Ryan Howard betting fastball, got the curve.
Then he misses on 3-2 with a changeup. Strasburg's first walk. And after a 9-pitch first inning, the old pitch count starting to pile up here. He's at 46 with 2 outs in the third. And Carlos Ruiz coming up. Didn't make a bad pitch on Ruiz first time, and it, as FP mentioned, on a 2-strike defensive hack. Ruiz got enough bat on it and snuck it inside the bag, first base side for a double.
I mean, really hasn't made a bad pitch all night. Got ambushed on a first pitch fastball by Franzen up in the zone. But other than that, done a nice job with his command, hitting his spots.
That's some serious damage. The ball gets by Strasburg, but Lombardozzi there with the catcher running, plenty of time. Juan Pierre manufactures a run, and the Phillies lead 3-0. Rise in Fios. Quantum speed, introducing internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. And by Navy Federal Credit Union, serving the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, the Department of Defense, and their families. Federally insured by NCUA. On the banks of the Anacostia, it's the last evening of July. Nats having a great month. They're 16-8. They'd like to end it on a winning note and stay at least 3.5 up on the Atlanta Braves, who continue to play great baseball. So here we are, bottom of the third. Strasburg, Lombardozzi, and Harper.
Let's see if Strasburg could be a scrappy leadoff hitter and get something going here.
Well, he has 10 hits this year. One of them a homer, 5 RBIs. How about that? Better hurry to first. Lance Nix picks it up, and the Nats have their second base hit, and Strasburg is now 11 for 32 this year.
Right out of the Ian Desmond leadoff hitting book. First pitch fastball right down the middle. Uses that hole over there on the right side. I mean, he's an opposite field guy. That's where his strength is, but if you hang him some off speed, he can shoot you out of the yard, pull side.
Well, someday if baseball goes all DH, which some people think it will, we're going to lose a wonderful part of this game, and that's pitchers who are good enough athletes to separate themselves from other guys out there.
Boy,
I hope it never happens.
I will start the picket line against that.
Well, I've talked to a lot of baseball people who think, you know, this whole thing with Houston going to the other league and then interleague every day of the year, it's just the first step in the, you know, and I've even had people tell me that they could see a day when there won't be American and National Leagues anymore. And I am really anti that.
Well, all the people you talk to are just plain silly.
There are a lot of silly people out there.
That's all I can come up with.
I get at least one of them is a manager of a major league team.
Well, he's silly.
Not here. Not here. Lombardozzi walked his first time. And he'll pop this one up short center. And it is on the ground in front of John Mayberry. Strasburg had to go not quite halfway and then hustle into second base. So the bottom and top of the order get something going here.
Little lob wedge for about 80 yards. Pulled out the 56-degree sandwich.
Checked up nice.
Yeah, good read by Strasburg, too. When you don't play every day, this is a tough read for a base runner. Is it going to drop? Is it not going to drop? How far do I go? Watch Steven at first. He got about 3/4 of the way. He kind of sensed that was going to fall, and that's all he did was stroll into second base. I've seen a lot of pitchers go back to first or not be close enough to advance should that ball drop. That's a good read by Strasburg.
Yeah, good call there, buddy. Here's Harper. Bryce hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice. First time up, Cliff Lee had the Nats bouncing the ball in the first inning. 3 consecutive grounders after the leadoff walk, and that's in there. Another ground ball by Moore in the second. Flores drilled his double, and we've had a couple of clean singles right here in the third. That's a little bit outside. 1-1. Close. Miami's trying to get back on the board in the third at Atlanta. The Nats trying to get on the board here. And he pulls the string on Harper. Remember the last time in this ballpark Bryce faced a real veteran left-hander? He struggled against Andy Pettitte. Cliff Lee has harder stuff than Andy Pettitte does. And when he changes speeds on you like that, hard to stay back. Then he goes change up again. 2-2.
I believe the last time he faced a veteran hitter from the veteran pitcher, I should say, from the Phillies here, he got drilled.
Yep. Well, may have that opportunity Thursday night. Two balls, two strikes with nobody out. Harper strikes out. Lee gets him. 87, third strikeout. Kinetic North America with the pitch track.
I think it was a front door cutter, threw it right at Bryce, brought it back over the plate. Down in the zone, Harper chased.
Kinetic North America providing world-class technology and responsive solutions to our government customers. Danny Espinoza, first time up, bounced one to short.
Oh, you better be careful right here. 1-0 count. Espinoza feeling like a three-hole hitter. He's looking for a fastball right down the middle, doing some damage.
He pops it up to left. Juan Pierre drifting back for it. Danny did not miss by much of putting that ball over the bullpen. 2 outs. And it'll be Morse.
He got his pitch. Just got underneath it a hair. That's a matter of centimeters from being a home run. Caught it out front. Little cutter from Cliff Lee. Just. Oh, yeah, that's great on the Exmo. You see where it hit the bat? It hits that bat square, it's gone. But a centimeter up on the barrel to the top half, it goes straight in the air.
Here's Morse, who bounced out to third on a forced play at second, his first time up. So he bats with at least one man on base for the second time. And he drills it to left. Strasburg into third. No chance at all for him to score. Ball hit too hard. And the bases are loaded for Tyler Moore with 3 hits in the inning. And Michael Morse has a 9-game hitting streak.
You're looking for a fastball, got the fastball. A little cutter that tried to get in on his hands. But he beat Cliff Lee to the point. Pulling the hands in, getting the barrel of the baseball. And now the stage is set for Tyler Moore. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Well, Tyler hit the ball sharply first time up. Franzen picked it off at third and threw him out. And the Nats are 1 2-out swing away from being right back at the Phils here. It's a strike. And he just tried to get the outside corner down there. 1-1. Third base, Strasburg. Then Lombardozzi. They led off the inning with singles. Harper struck out. Espinoza flew out. And Michael Morse got that hit streak continue with his 13th hit in his last 9 games.
I wonder if he went with that fastball away in an 0-1 count to get back to that cutter in right here, 1-1.
He goes breaking ball and misses low and inside, enhancing Moore's chance of seeing a fastball here. Cliff Lee's up by 3, doesn't really want to go to 3-1 with the bases loaded. And he takes it inside, ball 3.
A 2-1 cutter from Lee. When he's in trouble, he'll try to make you get yourself out on that fastball in the inner half. Fish ain't biting. Tyler Moore in a 3-1 count.
6 home runs, 16 RBIs for the rookie, who's hit around 340 his last 2 months in the big leagues. And he bounces one slowly left side. Easy play for Franson. The Nats are gone. They've stranded 5 base runners onto the middle innings. Phillies lead by 3. And early power from Franson, forging the 3-0 lead. And the Phillies have 5 hits already against Steven Strasburg. And Franson, a little ambush here.
First pitch fastball right out over the plate. Takes it out the other way to right center field. That's where the big boys go. So the 8-hole hitter for the Phillies with a 2-run home run on a first pitch fastball.
Trade deadline was 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. Giovanni Soto, a catcher. And the star of the pitchers, the big prize at this stage, Ryan Dempster, becomes a Texas Ranger. Marlins trade a minor leaguer, Gabby Sanchez, used to be a major leaguer, to fill a spot by Casey McGee, who goes from the Bucks to the Yankees. Reed Johnson, hard-nosed outfielder, Paul Mahalam, give the Braves a little bit of that pitching help they've been looking for.
I talked to Mike Rizzo before the game, and he said, hey, it just didn't work out to where we could get a part that we thought was better than something we had, that we could control for a while. Not that they didn't try, it just didn't fit. And he thinks the message he's sending to his own clubhouse is, hey, we don't need any help. And I think that gives a team confidence when you've done what they've done so far in the season, and you're 21 games over 500, and you don't go out and get somebody, you're telling the ball club that, hey, everything's cool. There's no panic. We think we got what we need to get to where we want to. And it's a good feeling. On the other side of that, if you're trying to catch somebody and there's no moves made, well, then you're saying, well, are we really trying? But when you're ahead and you're leading your division, I think it sends a good message to your ball club that, hey, we got what we need here.
Yeah.
And I think that's more of a long-term view than a short-term view. If you rent a player for a month and give up some prospects, not a good thing.
Lance Nick struck out swinging first time up. And he goes up to foul that one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brian McCann hit his 18th homer in the year in the bottom of the 3rd, and the Braves now lead the Marlins 4-1. Nats are down by 3. Strasburg's got to keep the Phils at bay here for the next couple of innings. That's a breaking ball that Nix pops into left. Michael Morse right there for a routine play. Top of the 4th underway. STGinc.com with league leaders and best records. We'll keep an eye on Cincinnati tonight. The Reds got a run in the bottom of the first against San Diego at home. And the Yankees are right there. They got 3 in the first at Baltimore tonight. But now it's a slugfest there. It's 8-5 Baltimore at the Yankees in the 3rd inning. And New York's lost 3 straight. So find out why employees choose STGinc.com. There's John Mayberry. Orioles got 7 in the 2nd at Yankee Stadium. There's a front door breaking ball that stayed inside.
And Strasburg not happy with the strike zone from Tim McClellan so far in this game.
Target in. 2-1. Pitch count getting up there. 19 pitches in the 3rd inning after he threw 18 in the 2nd. That ball is smashed to the wall and left. And a pretty good play by Michael Morse to make it close at 2nd. Mayberry runs well, and it's a good thing he does. So the Phillies have their 6th base hit against Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, such a difference for a hitter in a 2-1 count versus a 1-2 count. So a close call doesn't go Strasburg's way. Mayberry finds himself with count leverage, gets a 2-1 fastball. Good play by Morse. Off the wall, gets it in quick. And right here, you're thinking it's going to be close.
That might be the best throw we've seen Michael make this year. Now, Kevin Franzen, the last time he hit a homer prior to the 2nd inning tonight was with the Giants back in 07 when he hit 5 homers and drove in 31 runs in 109 games. He hadn't been in the big league since 2010 when he appeared in 54 games for the Angels. He's always been a good hitter. All-time hit leader at San Jose State, his alma mater. And Strasburg with a front door breaking ball. And the count goes to 0-2.
And if you watch Strasburg's body language after he throws the pitch, he's kind of waiting for the call. Like, is that going to be a strike? Yeah, okay, good.
And the ball slapped to short in front of the runner, so Mayberry has to retreat. Danny Espinosa guns out Kevin Franzen, 2 down. And Cliff Lee will be the hitter. Well, tomorrow is August 1st, and on the 18th, the Nats Live postgame concert series continues. Third Eye Blind will be here after a Saturday night game with the Mets. Tickets start as low as $10. Nationals.com/concerts. To check it out, you must have a ticket for the game to enjoy the postgame concert. Cliff Lee hit the ball fairly sharply first time, lined out to Michael Morse in left field, and a first pitch breaking ball misses. Fastball, base hit. Mayberry around third. Harper guns it home, and the Phillies lead 4-0. Cliff Lee's 2nd RBI of the year and the 10th of his major league career. So 3 of the Phillies' 4 runs driven in by the numbers 8 and 9 hitters tonight.
And it was hit so hard you thought there might be a play at the plate, but Mayberry with a good jump with 2 outs on second base. Good swing by Cliff Lee. Fastball right down the middle. And with the big gun of Bryce Harper, you're thinking this is going to be close. Good turn by Mayberry at 30. He didn't get too wide. Hit the bag, dropped his shoulder, stayed close to the baseline, and that was the difference.
Steven Strasburg has not had a 1-2-3 inning tonight, and the Phillies now have 7 hits. Jimmy Rollins is 0 for 2. Usually a key to stopping the Phillies is to keep Jimmy Rollins off base. Steven's been able to do that twice. And now a great jump by Cliff Lee. And he steals second base. I have that as his second career steal.
Well, Tyler Moore wasn't even holding him on. He was standing behind him right there. And just like Juan Pierre did in the third inning.
And that ball is drilled by Jimmy Rollins. Right field, Harper can't get it up against the wall. Bryce crashes into the fence. Jimmy Rollins is going to circle the bases on an inside the park home run.
I'm surprised this ball stayed in the park, but in the end, it didn't matter. Rollins got a fastball right down the middle, drilled it to right. Good effort by Harper going up on the wall. Hit pretty hard, too. And then right there, with the way it kicked off the fence, you're thinking speed of Rollins, how far the ball away is from Harper. This is a home run. And right about here, Jimmy Rollins starting to feel an inside-the-park homer. Juan Samuel waving him all the way, and this is a no-doubter. And just like that, it's 6-0 Philadelphia.
That's Jimmy Rollins' fourth career inside the park home run. He hadn't done it since April of '07 at Florida against Dontrell Willis. His 10th homer of the year, and the Phillies have shocked the Nationals here, leading 6-0 in the top of the fourth.
Who would have thought on the day when they traded Hunter Pence and Shane Victorino, they'd be up 6-0.
Against the Nats, best pitcher, or at least one of the top 2 or 3 on the staff, and they have taken it to Steven Strasburg tonight. Juan Pierre's 2 for 2. And he goes up hacking. Michael Morse drifting back for this one, and the Phillies put 3 runs on the board in the top of the 4th inning and lead 6-0. They were race walking for a long time, and evidently Tom Jefferson just couldn't resist. He got things going, wins the race. And so the Nats, after a Jimmy Rollins inside the park home run, the 4th of his career.
Well, I think the key to this home run is the off outfielder has to back up. You see Roger Bernardino at the top of the screen. Rollins hit that ball, and he didn't move. As a center fielder, you see the ball hit, you just start to cruise over to that side, and if the ball caroms, you're the backup man. And Bryce Harper does a somersault, a roll, gets up, and there's no help. Now, the ball was hit in Rogers' defense. Maybe he thought it was a home run, but there has to be a backup on that play.
So for the Nats, DeRosa, Flores, and Bernardino, bottom of the 4th inning. Cliff Lee, 49 pitches, 32 strikes, an RBI hit, a stolen base. And Mark DeRosa struck out swinging first time up. Boy, that happened right after the Nats, down by 3, had left the bases loaded in the third.
Boy, there's always some place to be on defense as a defender, no matter where the play is.
Tom Corzolani could be getting ready for a long relief outing tonight. Nats haven't needed too many of those this year. Strasburg is due to bat 4th here in the bottom of the 4th. Strasburg 65 pitches in 4 innings, 40 strikes, but 6 runs on 8 hits. And a 2-1 to Mark. Followed by Jesus Flores and Roger Bernardina here in the 4th. And Mark DeRosa, that patented right field stroke of his, using that to stay alive. Tries to paint on the inside corner and misses. And a 3-2 count. Nats need base runners any way possible. If it gets down to the number 9 spot, they could hit this early. And when you consider the Nats only have 4 guys on the bench, and 2 of them not in the lineup tonight because of sore backs, who would be the pinch hitter? Wouldn't use Chad Tracy this early, would you? Swing and a miss on a fastball upstairs. For Cliff Lee, his 4th strikeout. And he's starting to look like the pitcher who won 17 games and had a 2.40 ERA last year.
Yeah, 93 miles an hour, challenge fastball. Probably top of the zone. Well, if you get to the spot, maybe you just let the pitcher that's hitting 323 coming in tonight hit, Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, that's a good call, whether you're going to pitch him any further or not. And the way Corzolani is warming up, Steven could be done. Ball 1 to Jesus Flores, who plugged the gap in left center first time for his 11th double of the year.
Well, if he is done, the negative side is he gave up 8 hits and 6 runs. The positive side is it might get him one further start in September.
Everybody has their opinion on this Strasburg thing, don't they? I got an interesting one from John Smoltz in Milwaukee on Sunday. He said, why not let him pitch and then have him debut on the 1st of May next year? Hold him out then, not now.
Smoltz has got a lot of opinions on a lot of things. I've heard them all, too. He had one of fake an injury for Strasburg. Now this one.
Well, and a lot of people who aren't paying that salary and what the Nationals had to invest in Steven Strasburg have a lot of opinions. The Nats are looking down the road 8, 10, 12 years on this deal. That's up and away to Jesus Flores, 2-2. And
well, the one thing I don't hear is that he hasn't had the Cole Hamels contract or the Cliff Lee deal yet. When you're talking about taking care of your family and setting up everybody for life and future generations, Steven Strasburg hasn't had a chance to get that big contract yet.
2-2. Ooh, check swing, and that ball went flying right by Roger Bernardina in the on-deck circle. And Jesus will pull it left side. Franzen to his left with a nice pickup. 2 outs here in the fourth with Roger Bernardina coming up. Game 2 tomorrow night against the Phillies. It'll be Edwin Jackson and Vance Worley, Ross Detweiler and Cole Hamels, the lefties, on Thursday. And then the Marlins are in for the doubleheader. Game 1, 4 o'clock. Game 2, around 7 o'clock or so on Friday night. And then another night game Saturday. That's the next 5. And Edwin will get the call tomorrow night. Got his career record back even at 66-66 with a fine effort in Milwaukee. So Strasburg comes out on deck. And Bernardino with a slow roller. He's got a chance. He's safe. Chase Utley played it well, but Roger too fast. And he checks in with his first base hit and the 5th by the Nats tonight.
And the Sharks have a great sense of smell, and right there, Roger Bernardina was smelling a knock.
So if somebody drops a blood on first, just a drop of blood on first base, he's going to get there?
Well, with his speed right now, he's thinking, that's a hit, that's a hit. I got a hit right here. Chase Utley with a little double clutch right there. And that was the difference. Couldn't get the ball out cleanly. Shark smelling an infield hit, and he gets me.
And that was too far away for Utley to do the old glove shovel or things like that second basemen use to save time these days. So here's Strasburg, who already has a base hit. Each pitcher has singled off the other. And Lee will slip it by him. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a tapper right back to the pitcher. Well, that might be the last thing we see Steven Strasburg do tonight. We'll know in moments with the top of the 5th coming around. 6-0 Phils. W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason? On to the top of the 5th inning. Steven Strasburg will not continue. Tom Gorzolani will take over for the Nats here. Discover Kia's full lineup of high-quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles. To learn more, visit Kia.com. This is a turn of events tonight. The Nats have beaten the Phillies 13 of the last 17. They've won all the one-run games, out-hitting them by 50 points. ERA a run and a half better. And the Phillies bullpen, which has been a nightmare for them this year as well, a lot more blown saves. So the series has been the Nats' way for the last year, and Tom Gorzolani will have the assignment to put a couple of zeros up on the board here. .38 strikeouts, and the numbers just about even across the board as far as what lefties and righties do against him. It'll be 2 lefties, Utley and Howard, then the right-hander Ruiz here in the Philadelphia 5th.
And Davey Johnson would love it if Gorzolani could give him a good 3 or 4 innings right now. Yeah, 4-pitch guy, fastball, slider, cutter, change. Used to throw the curveball, ditched that a couple years ago. The slider's been good.
2.80 ERA for the last 3 months for Tom Gorzolani. And a bouncer right side. Tyler Moore had to wait for it. And then to Tom, well executed for the first out. It'll bring in Ryan Howard, who has hit into a double play and walked. Another nice crowd tonight. Attendance is up 29% compared to the first 47 home games last season. Almost 7,000 per game, and that's the second highest league-wide behind Miami. Of course, the Marlins opened up a new ballpark, and that's always going to spike your attendance. Nats have had 8 sellouts on the year, most ever in a single season here, and a really good crowd here tonight. Looking for something to root for soon.
The Marlins had 500 people at their games last year, so you'd figure.
Yeah, that's a pretty good increase.
They would have
We could fill up the ballpark, the National Mall, and the Verizon Center and not catch the Marlins. Howard up the middle, off the glove. A chance, DeRosa, but he can't get it cleanly with a bare hand, and a base hit for Ryan Howard.
hot shot right back up the box. Gorzolani tips it to DeRosa. He decides to go bare hand right here, and this is a great shot. Just hit him on the outside, maybe peeking to his target a hair early. But that was do or die all the way for DeRosa.
Ryan Howard's 13th hit of the year in 58 at bats. He'll take it. And here's Carlos Ruiz. Came in tied with Joey Votto at 342. And he's 1 for 2 tonight. How about that? You're batting 342 and you're 26 behind the league leading hitter. Andrew McCutchen at a ridiculous 368. In the air to right, and Bryce Harper can drift back for it. Second out.
Well, everything Ruiz gets, he earns. I would think Andrew McCutchen gets a lot of infield singles.
Yeah.
Carlos Ruiz has to get a clean base hit every single time.
And I know they've bumped him up in the order this year, but there have been times there's not been a whole lot of protection behind him. Andrew McCutchen is 1 for 1 tonight.
Shocker.
At Wrigley Field, the Bucks got 4 in the first at Chicago. So his batting average 370 right now. Lance Nix, strikeout swinging, fly ball to left. And this one on a play to the left side. First of 3 with the Phils, then 4 with the Marlins on this 6-day homestand. The Nats took 2 out of 3 for the Phillies in that series back in May, and they have won 2 of the first 3 at Citizens Bank Park this year as well. That's a great breaking ball by Gorzolani, and Tom does step 1 of what Davey Johnson needs him to do. A 0 in the 5th. Top of the order coming up. The Phils. He's 5-6 and 2-2 career with a 4.74 ERA against the Nats. Edwin Jackson won his last start at Milwaukee. The Nats gave him 8 runs of support. He did not give up a run in 7 outstanding innings, and he'll be trying to win his 7th game of the year. Byron and Ray, 6:30 Nats Extra. And then we join you from the booth at 7 o'clock. First pitch at 7:05 or thereabouts tomorrow night. It's all Phillies right now, 6-0 into the bottom of the 5th inning. Lombardozzi, Harper, and Espinoza. Saturday, the Marlins are here for the 3rd game of that 4-game series, and it's Masson T-shirt night for the first 20,000 fans. Now, remember, you must enter through the center field gates to receive the Masson T-shirt. Go to nationals.com/tickets. One size fits all. Probably some different sizes.
See what they brought me up from.
I saw you. You had a shark hat delivered.
I have a shark hat. Ask and you shall receive. I guess Jim Cloak, a fan, they got word that I was saying I'd wear one on TV.
What, does Jim Cloak live like next door to the ballpark?
I don't know. They got word, sent it up. I got a shark hat. You don't. 1-0 me.
Thanks, Jim. Taking my partner to new heights of fashion.
Pretty cool.
Well, at least there's one legitimate model in the family.
This is true.
And it's not you.
It's not me.
1-1 to Lombardozzi, who has walked and singled. Boy, if I ever cut my finger, I'm running out of the booth before you'd get all over me here. Two and 1. Mike Rizzo is going to pay us a visit in just a moment.
He's digging my hat right now.
And a 2-1 to Lombardozzi. And Steve will foul it off to the right side. And the count's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. And Lombardozzi will take one over but low, and he's had some really good at-bats tonight. On a long AB, after being behind, he walked in the first, dropped a single into center field in the 3rd. And the Nats, as we mentioned last inning, will take base runners any way they can get them here. Down by 6 middle innings. Lombardozzi pulls it. Left side. Franzen. What a night he's having. And then Ryan Howard picks it at the other end. Placido Polanco on the DL and Kevin Franzen putting on a show at third base.
There's some question whether Kevin Franzen could play third base in spring training for the Phillies, and I think he's showing Charlie Manuel right now that he can.
Bryce Harper's up next, and Mike Rizzo joins us. Mike, good to see you, and not the kind of score we were expecting in the middle innings because the ball clubs played so well against the Phillies, but the trading deadline has come and gone. It's been over 4.5 hours now, and your thoughts on 4 o'clock coming and going?
Well, we had a plan in place, going into the deadline, and we really did the bulk of our roster construction this winter.
Harper busting his bat. Jimmy Rollins has it. 2 outs.
And we put together and constructed this roster the way that we felt that it needed to be. And our outlook going into the trade deadline was if we can't clearly upgrade at a position that would be a long-term type of acquisition, we weren't going to go into it and with any spare parts and any rentals that was going to cost us minor league players for 2 or 3 months of the season.
And that was your philosophy last year. I think that is your philosophy going to the trade deadline every year. But did the fact that you're 21 games over 500 influence your thought process in any way?
It really didn't. We had a clear agenda going into the trade deadline, and actually leading up to the trade deadline, and that was what were we going to obtain, and what was it going to do for us in the long term if we can upgrade ourselves. Everyone talks about us needing a pitcher. Because of shutting Strauss down, later on in the season. But if we weren't going to upgrade and get one of those elite pitchers, which are going to cost you 3 or 4 of your minor league players, your good ones, that secondary tier of pitchers, we feel that we have those guys in house. John Lannon is a pitcher that won 10 games in the big leagues, threw 200 innings for 2 or 3 years in a row, and has a sub-4 ERA for his career. So that's a real pitcher, and we felt that we couldn't do any better in the trade market.
And, of course, last year you had to give up some arms when you brought Gio Gonzalez over here. And some organizations have the depth to do that, some don't, and you did.
Yeah, we found in this winter, like I said, that's when we really did our construction of the roster, and we felt that this was a type of performer at his age with his control and the control of his contract and the type of his contract that we could afford to give up, 4 really good minor league players for him. And those minor league prospects don't grow on trees. The scouts and they're driving the highways, and the player development are developing these guys to help us make trades just like that. And if we could have done something like that during the trade deadline, we would have done it. But there was just nothing out there that was going to upgrade us and put us in a better position to win than we already are.
2 balls and 1 strike to Danny Espinosa. Danny's bounced out to the left side, flied to left, and a 2-1 pitch. And the count's back even.
Was there anything really, really close?
Not really. It was a lot of tire kicking, and you're never done. After the trade deadline is passed, like right now, it's just a different type of trade deadline now. It's players have to pass through waivers, and then you discuss trades. But like we said, that there was some. We worked extremely hard. We had a lot of irons in the fire, but there was nothing that we wanted to pull the trigger that would help us long term.
Mike, you have another half inning with us?
I'd love to.
That'd be great. Mike Rizzo with us as this one goes to the top of the 6th inning. It's all Lee and the Phils right now. Trying to keep this one 6-0. Save the bullpen, put some zeros on the board. Mike Rizzo is with us. Any of the deals made around baseball involving other ball clubs surprise you at all? Because a couple of pretty good pitchers, Greinke and Dempster, at least they left the league.
Right. Well, those are two solid major league starters, and they get them out of our league, and maybe see them only later on in the season would
That'd be nice.
Would be a pleasant surprise for us. But not really. Clubs are trying to improve themselves, and everyone's so competitive. The GMs are so competitive. They've got a plan in place, and they're trying to improve their ball club.
Were you surprised at the interest in pitching, especially, maybe guys like Dempster that receive so much attention approaching the trade deadline?
And the Phillies keep on hacking. A base hit for Mayberry. Bernardino will get over there in a hurry to cut it off and hold him to a single.
Well, obviously pitching is a premium, and then you get guys who have been into wars before, and they've got major league experience, and they're genuine, major league starters that can really help you down the stretch. And for some teams, it sends a good message to the ball club that, hey, we're making a trade, and we're trying. To us, I thought it made a statement in our clubhouse saying that, hey, we're 21 games over 500. We've got the team in place right now with this group to win on a consistent basis. We don't need to go out and make a blockbuster trade because we've got our team right here in place.
I think when you're trying to chase someone and you're behind in the standings and your team stands pat, it sends a horrible message to the ball club that, hey, we really haven't helped you guys or given you the piece of the puzzle you need to catch the first place team. But like you said, when you're in first place, not that you're complacent, not that you're satisfied, just sending a very relaxed message to the ball club that, hey, we're confident in what we have.
We've played well this year. There's we're certainly not a perfect team. We've got room to get better. But we look at it this way. We just got Chad Tracy. That's like getting a veteran left-handed pinch hitter off the bench. You've got Jason Worth, who's going to be with us very, very soon. That's a blockbuster trade at the trade deadline. We haven't had our full lineup together one game this whole season so far. So we feel good about where we're at and where we're going.
And a ball lined and right there in left field to grab it. Michael Morse, one out.
We feel good about where we're at. We've got a lot of pieces in place. We've got a good athletic team. We need to get a little healthier. We need to get Desi back, who's a big component to our ball club, offensively and defensively. You get Jason out in right field. It gives you leadership, two more potent right-handed bats, and hopefully when we get everybody healthy, gelling, we'll start hitting on all cylinders and continue to play great baseball.
Lee has lined out to left and single to right, driving in a run and a pitch up. And Mike, FP and I a couple of innings ago were discussing the Strasburg situation, how everybody around the country has their own opinions on what you should do with this valuable player that you have. What will be the deciding factors when you get to that point in September? Is there an absolute number, or is it more a combination of things? I
think it's a combination of things. Now, these decisions are put in place by, we certainly the medical professionals, Dr. Lou Yoakum, who was the surgeon who did Stras's surgery and Jordan Zimmerman's surgery. He is very much involved in this decision-making process. Also, the representative for Stras is involved in it. Stras himself will be involved in it, and ultimately, it's the decision is the general manager's decision when what we want to do and when we want to do it. And I'm going to make it, and I'll sleep like a baby after I make it because I know we're doing the right thing.
Are there tests involved, like physical tests with his arm before you make that decision, or is it just about what you've seen as far as innings and pitches and starts?
I think it's workload. It's analyzation of how he works, how many stressful innings does he have, how many 30-plus pitch innings has he had. We've got a litany of documentation and information that we're going to use, and we're going to supplement that with the advice of our surgeons, our medical director Weenie DeWogie, and a lot of people are going to be involved in this decision, and to give us a roadmap on how to handle it, and ultimately, when it's going to happen, it'll be my decision, and we're going to move on from then.
And what did you see from Steven tonight?
Well, Stras is, he had trouble locating his fastball, and got a little breaking ball happy, I thought, early on, and just kind of snowballed from then. What we forget is that he is a very young pitcher. And I forget it myself sometimes. This is an ultra talented guy, and he's done so many great things in his young career that we forget about. This guy is in his first full season of pitching in the major leagues. He's never pitched over 128 innings in his lifetime, and we all have lofty expectations for him. But we also have to remember that he's a 24-year-old guy in his first season in the major leagues. He's going to make mistakes with pitches. He's going to learn from this from the rough outings that he has, and he's going to take it and run with it.
2 balls and a strike to Jimmy Rollins, batting right-handed now against Tom Gorzolani in the top of the 6th. And a ball lifted out to center. Roger Bernardina will run it down. Mike, we always appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, guys. Thank you.
And thanks for, at the deadline, keeping the broadcast teams intact.
My pleasure.
Tyler Moore, Mark DeRosa. Hey, Michael Morse will go home with you for dinner Sunday night if you come to the ball game. At least his bobblehead will. First 15,000 fans receive the Morse bobblehead at the center field gates only. And it's all presented by PNC Bank. Go to Nationals.com. Get your tickets right now. Get down from the Navy Yard station, down half street early, and take home the Michael Morse bobblehead.
I mean, if there was a picture of it right now, you'd be lining up for August 5th. It's probably the coolest bobblehead I've ever seen.
Really?
He's in his samurai cobra snake pose with one leg up in the air, and he's got the bat out in front like this.
How about that?
Even he loved it.
He's a big man, isn't he?
He's got a huge head.
I would be too if I was 6 for 15 in a 4-game series with a whole handful of RBIs. And a 9-game hitting streak with a base hit here tonight.
Clutch home run to tie the game. Clutch base hit to win the game in Milwaukee. I'm not real big on bobbleheads, but his is probably the coolest one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of got out of control for the most part. And usually when you see him, it looks nothing like the guy. This one is dead on.
Cool. Cliff Lee throws one by his hands inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's had good success against Cliff Lee. And that is a 3-hopper right at Chase Utley. Next up will be Tyler Moore and Mark DeRosa here in the 6th inning. But this whole Strasburg thing, I think what people need to understand, FP, and I'm so glad we had Mike up here to talk about that. Everybody's going, why do you have to shut him down after 160 innings? How many pitches is that? How many stressful innings? That's only one part of this complicated formula the Nats and the doctors are going to use. And I'll tell you, if you don't trust your doctors, why have them?
Right.
I mean, this is a situation that is very unique. Hey, I'd like to see Strasburg make 33 starts this year and pitch all the way to the end of October. But it doesn't appear that's going to be possible. But the whole thing is so much more complicated than people are making it out to be.
Well, my whole thing is, in my life in general, I cross bridges when I come to them and not before.
These things have a way of working themselves out, don't they?
Baseball is a today's sport.
And people have been bent out of shape about this since spring training.
You start worrying about a month from now or 2 months from now, it's useless because things change so frequently in this game. It's obviously something to talk about, but, you know, baseball players' mentality is worry about today. Forget about yesterday. I got in trouble last time I started doing days, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's all about right now. You start worrying about 2 months from now, it's wasting mental energy.
Yeah.
I still, on my bucket list, is to sit in a war room on trade deadline day and listen to GMs go back and forth. That just fascinates me beyond all belief. Just want to hear what they say, how it goes down, how close they come to making trades.
Tyler Moore gets that one off the end of the bat. It'll fall to Juan Pierre. Cliff Lee, 9 of the last 10 Nationals retired since Michael Morse's base hit with 2 outs back in the 3rd. Cliff Lee getting some run support tonight. About a half run per game. So discover Kia's full lineup of high quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles. To learn more, visit kia.com. And if he would pitch 9 innings, it would still be low. You know, run support, and I think we need to explain this, is usually explained, supposed to be anyway, the runs your team scores while you're in the game, not just the entire game. There's not many guys throw complete games anymore. And Mark DeRosa will take that one upstairs. Cliff Lee has struck him out twice, and the count's 2-0. Looks like it might be raining in Atlanta. The only problem is they've already played at least 4.5 innings, and the Braves lead 4-1 at home. Two balls and no strikes to DeRosa. Nine o'clock at Nationals Park. The guys home for the first time since a week ago Sunday when that wild Atlanta series wrapped up here. Bob FP and Christina on Mass and HD tonight. It's been all Phillies. Kevin Franzen got it going with a deep right center field homer in the 2nd inning. Juan Pierre manufactured a run in the 3rd, and then Jimmy Rollins hit an inside the park homer to drive in 2 more after a Cliff Lee RBI. And it's 6-0 Philadelphia. Steven Strasburg lasting just 4 innings. 6 runs on 8 hits.
I wasn't real pleased with McClellan's strike zone tonight. You could tell on the mound. Didn't like the calls he was getting. Might have affected him, might not have.
And I think we saw Gio get a little out of sorts in Milwaukee on Sunday with Mike Estabrook as well. Boy, it's tough to shake that stuff off, though, isn't it?
I honestly didn't think it was that bad of a strike zone.
Sunday or tonight?
Tonight.
Okay. Here we go. 7th inning. It's 6-0 Phils. innings, so he may become the MVP for the Nats of this game tonight if the scoreboard doesn't change. Just trying to keep things reasonable. And the Phillies box is full of base hits. Everybody but Lance Nix, the former Nat, has chipped in. And of course the big blows, Franzen's homer, 2 outs in the second, and the 2-out inside the park homer by Jimmy Rollins in the fourth. Well, I guess your pitching coach told you there would be nights like this. First time Steven Strasburg's given up this many runs in 4 1/3 innings since August 10th of 2010 against the Marlins. So that's the only other time he's allowed 6. It happens to the great ones. I saw Bob Gibson give up 11 runs in the first inning one night.
And then he drilled somebody, and that was it. Drilled somebody on the way out.
No, then he pitched a complete game after that. No, he didn't. But, yeah, somebody was going to pay for that either that time or the next time. But, I mean, every pitcher will tell you it happens. Some nights, the fastball is a quarter of an inch from where it should be. Good charge by Lombardozzi, and then Moore got back to the bag. Look at Juan Pierre hustling. He's always one of the hardest working guys in baseball. 4 solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC Bank for the achiever in you. Tanner Rourke pitching great at Syracuse. Look at that. He goes 2 starts and racks up 14 innings.
13 Ks and 2 walks.
Yeah, he has 97 strikeouts on the year to lead that ball club. And he was obtained, this is not to be forgotten, from the Texas Rangers several years ago in the Christian Guzman trade when the Nats moved their shortstop to make room for a young Ian Desmond at the deadline. In fact, Ian Desmond's locker, when he got called up, was right next to Christian Guzman's. And I walked up to this very confident looking young man, introduced myself. I said, I've heard a lot about you. That was back in 09.
And in 2012, you're going to be an all-star.
I didn't tell him that, but I asked him, what kind of a hitter are you? He looked at me and said, I'm a tough out. You know, most guys say, I'm a slasher, you know, gap to gap. I'm a tough out. That's all he wanted us to know. And he hit 280 that September. And a ball driven to left. Michael Morris is back to grab it. Off the bat of Chase Utley. 2 outs.
Anybody ever tell you they're awful? I can't hit. I'm a slap hitter. I can barely get it over the infielder's head.
No, but I do remember working a network game many, many years ago with Buck Martinez. And we met a young hitter. He said, oh, yeah, I was having a great year at AAA. You know, glad to be here. You know, and we went and looked up his numbers. We're like, are you kidding me? 240's a great year these days. Buck had a, you know, and Buck's old school, man.
Yeah.
He, you know, he was playing before you were, and he was like, wait a minute. You didn't get called up hitting 240 unless 8 guys were hurt. Ryan Howard, a line drive off of Gorsolani's glove. Last time up, he's 1 for 2, double play ball and a walk. That's a front door breaking ball for a strike. Phillies are trying to break a 3-game losing streak. They couldn't handle the Braves over the weekend. With Ruiz on deck, 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the 7th. That ball gets away. He missed it. Flores fans on it. Tried to pick it up with a bare hand, and Ryan Howard makes it to first base. If Jesus gets it the first time, he would have had a chance to gun him out.
That's a couple of times tonight we've seen guys that might have a little more time than they think with Ryan Howard. They're not back to 100% speed-wise. A little peek from Flores. That was all it took.
And they call it a wild pitch. Ball was well outside. It was not in the dirt. And here's Carlos Ruiz, who's 1 for 3 with that big double back in the second. So Tom Gorzelani gets his second strikeout, but charged with a wild pitch. Two and rather outside, 1-1. Carlos Ruiz, he can go 1 for 3 every night and his batting average will go down. That's how good he's going. And a pop-up over near the barrier right side. Tyler Moore, a chance to reach, unable to grab it. Those are dangerous waters down there.
I almost lost an arm.
Buddy, act like you've been there before, especially if you're wearing a shark hat.
Well, especially when the home team comes over to catch a pop-up, you got to get out of the way.
Yeah. Two balls and 2 strikes. Target in. And serious damage right there for a pop-up left side. DeRosa called off by Espinosa. Danny has it in foul ground. It's time to stretch at Nationals Park and hope the offense can do something with these 9 outs left. Brought to you by Dodge. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local Dodge dealer this week. And by Total Recall in theaters August 3rd. Washington Monument on a beautiful night. 84 degrees at game time. Some new blue lights in the trees right behind home plate here. Nats were greeted with those when we came back from Milwaukee 2 nights ago. And it's 6-0 Phillies, with Flores, Bernardina, and then the pitcher spot coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Last time the Nats didn't do anything at the trading deadline was 2007. Didn't have to do anything this time around. Now, this is a slightly different ball club than that. The 07 team went 73-89 and finished 4th in the National League East. So the Nats win totals 81-05. Then 71, 73, 59 twice, 69 2 years ago, and then up to 80 last year. And who knows how far it's going this time around. .90 pitches, 58 strikes for Cliff Lee. Henry Rodriguez warming because the Nats will have to hit for Gorzolani here. And even though there's a left-hander on the mound, might be a good time to get Chad Tracy and AB and get him back in there. I think our fans will receive him warmly.
Oh, he's the only guy. Can't go with your last catcher. LaRoche and Zimmerman are down today.
And Jesus Flores hits it off to the right side. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, I think when you look at what the National League West did today, the Giants got stronger, the Dodgers got stronger.
Thanks to the Phillies.
But it made the road to the National League pennant maybe a little bit tougher, but nobody said it was going to be easy. A long way to go just to get into the tournament.
Yeah.
But once you do, I mean, there's some teams that seriously upgraded out west.
Yeah, interesting that some of the additions were offense because that's such a pitching dominant division as a rule. I mean, the Giants didn't exactly knock down walls to win it 2 years ago. So Shane Victorino to the Dodgers, Hunter Pence to the Giants. And a 2-2 is fouled away.
Victorino, Hanley Ramirez, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier. It's a pretty good lineup.
Yeah. Nats box. 5 hits. None of them since Bernardina's infield hit back in the 4th. Michael Morse has extended his hitting streak to 9 games. 10 of the last 11 retired by Cliff Lee. Chad Tracy has a bat. Got a good battle by Jesus here.
And 97 pitches, throwing a lot of fastballs.
Hasn't thrown a complete game this year. And, you know, when the Nats get into another team's bullpen, you just never know anymore what's going to happen.
I feel these people telling me he doesn't really even throw his curve very much anymore, and he hasn't featured it very often here tonight.
Throws one by Flores at 86, his 7th strikeout.
Yeah, pretty much his fastball, cutter, change on the night from Cliff Lee. You see the sequence, pretty good changeup right there, 86 miles an hour. Flores looking fastball.
Chad Tracy does step to the on-deck circle as Roger Bernardina steps in. And by the way, for the pitch track, get to Nissan Summer Saving Days. It ends September 4th, so this week, visit ChooseNissan.com. Hurry into your local Nissan dealer. Roger Bernardina 1 for 2 with a little roller between the pitcher and the first baseman last time up. Chase Utley picked it up but couldn't throw out this blindingly fast runner. There's a pretty good breaking ball.
That's actually the cutter right there from Lee.
I was going to say, if that's a cutter, it really cuts. Why throw the curveball if you can do that, huh?
Yeah, curveball's in the 70s, cutters in the mid to upper 80s.
Wow. Bernardina with another slow roller. Utley's got a little more time this time and barely beat him. Bernardina made some kind of close play out of that. And here comes Chad Tracy.
And a good hustle once again by Bernardina getting down the line. Just got him. Not a big stretch right there from Ryan Howard. Kind of both feet by the bag. Didn't go out to get the ball. Maybe made it a little bit closer.
Nice hand for Chad Tracy, who got hurt in Atlanta on May 26th. Pulled the groin, the right adductor strain, after what turned out to be a game-winning pinch hit double. So he was out 2 months and 5 days. He was 6 of 18 as a Nats pinch hitter with a homer and 9 RBIs. And he got started right from the get-go in the opening series of the season at Wrigley Field. Gets under that one and skies it to right. Lance Nix short of the track, and the Nats go in order, and that's 13 out of 14 now for Cliff Lee into the 8th. Tonight, quiet night offensively. Phillies dominating with the bats and with Cliff Lee, and it's 6-0 into the 8th inning. See the Nats of tomorrow today, right down I-95 at Fitzner Stadium in Woodbridge. The Potomac Nationals, 703-590-2311, or log on as you always can to PotomacNationals.com. This call to the bullpen, packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Been kind of an odd week. Even while the Nats were winning 3 out of 4 in Milwaukee, there were some lopsided, one-sided games, and Henry's had a chance to pitch a couple of times, and now here he is again tonight.
You see the average against 172. A fastball, curveball change from Rodriguez. And I think before the game today, Davey Johnson said he is going to stay with an 8-man bullpen the rest of the way.
So that means when Jason Worth comes back, a position player will be dropped. Lance Nix, and that bench isn't exactly long to begin with. That'll take care of itself in a month. Christina, you heard from Davey on that.
Yes, Davey, and also Mike Rizzo also said that he likes having 8 relievers with the versatility of the bench guys. It allows Davey to get away with it. And Davey said the next time I do anything, I'll be adding to it in about a month. So both of them saying today that they like the 8 relievers in the bullpen.
And, of course, a pitcher will be needed, a starter for Friday night's doubleheader. And I think everybody expects, and I think everybody hopes, it's John Lannon again, based on how he saved the day against the Braves a week and a half ago. What a great opportunity to come up and do it again. Rodriguez on 1 and 2, and he blows away Lance Nix, who's 0 for 4 with 3 punch-outs tonight. That's Henry, if he throws strikes.
You see the pitch right here, a changeup, 91 miles an hour. And Lance Nix is out front of 91 because he's geared up for 100.
Next up is John Mayberry, who's had a good night, 2 for 3, doubled off the left field wall. In the 4th, scored on the Cliff Lee base hit, then single leading off the 6th. Good job, though, by Tom Gorzolani. He gets 3 scoreless innings on the board, gives up 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and he throws only 35 pitches.
Yeah, great job. I mean, thankless job. He goes out there in a 6-0 game and basically saves the bullpen for tomorrow. And we've said that a number of times about Gorzelani this year. Goes out there, puts his head down, gets the job done. Doesn't want any credit. But when you watch the ball game tomorrow with a full bullpen, if the Nats have a lead late, you can look back to tonight and the job that Tom Gorzelani did, saving the rest of those guys down there.
And maybe Henry can do the same thing now for these last 2 innings. Unless the Nats tie it and send it into overtime. A lot of games, though, this week. There's a breaking ball that just misses. Or did it? That's a strike call by Tim McClellan.
Slow down. Take your time, and you will never get McClellan again.
I'm going to take a deep breath.
Just wait till the throw's going back before you make the call.
This job is all about spontaneity, and I'm being robbed of that right now. But that's okay. Got to get it right. That's low. 2-2. Left-hander Antonio Bastardo for the Phils. 103 pitches for Cliff Lee. Hasn't given up a hit since the 4th inning. Due to bat 4th in this inning if it goes that far. And the count goes full. That is ball 4.
Watch these guys in the background right here on ball 4. Keep your eye on the fans right in front of the screen. Check it out. Gonna go over his head. Oh, your beer. That was a big time flinch.
You know you're sitting behind a screen, but your eyes still tell you that danger's approaching.
That was awesome. When he sat down there, he thought there's no way a pitch is going to come right at me tonight.
It's about $2 worth that came out of that cup right there.
Let's watch this again. I mean, why not? Right here. Heads up, dude. Ah!
And that's a strike. The count's 1-1. His phone is blowing up right now.
I'd have done the same thing. Except we're going to save the beer.
And a 1-2 from Henry Rodriguez to Kevin Franzen, who waits for the inside pitch and hits it out to left. Michael Morse grabs it for the second out. And in a moment we'll see Dominic Brown, who is recalled today. The Washington area Toyota dealers helping children and their families as they receive medical treatment at the National Institutes of Health. Every strikeout earns $37 more for the Children's Inn at NIH, thanks to the Washington area Toyota dealers. So Cliff Lee is done for the night, and Dominic Brown, who is hitting .286 at Lehigh Valley, steps in after being recalled today. He hit .245 for the Phillies in 56 games last year.
Off the plane into the batter's box. About to see 100.
Yeah. Came here from Syracuse, where the Iron Pigs of Lehigh Valley were playing the Syracuse Chiefs.
You said that earlier, and I Googled Iron Pig, and I have no idea what it is. And nothing really came up except for pig iron, and I don't know what that is either.
It's a AAA ball player somewhere in Pennsylvania, in the Lehigh Valley. We got to have a fight song, don't you think?
No.
Dominic Brown, a 20th round draft choice. Been in the minor leagues for the better part of 6 years. Still only 24 years of age. He'll have a birthday early in September, but he's been considered a prospect for the Phillies for the last couple of years. Rodriguez gets him to hit a tapper that goes foul. So Cliff Lee only gives the Nats 5 hits. Shuts them out for 7 innings tonight, with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk, and that was the first man of the game, Lombardozzi. He walked, and now former starter Kyle Kendrick joins Bastardo. Right over the bag, and through it goes. Mayberry heading for third, and the Phillies have runners at the corners with 2 outs, with Jimmy Rollins coming back up after he went inside the park home run 2 ABs ago.
Off the plane into the box, base hit up the middle. When you talk about a couple of guys like Pence and Victorino getting traded, it's opportunity for maybe a guy like Dominic Brown, Kevin Franson. You're going to get a good look-see for a good 2 months now to show the organization, Ruben Amaro Jr., Charlie Manuel, that you can play at the highest level.
Dominic Brown's another outstanding young athlete out of that youth program down in Georgia. And he was headed to Miami as a wide receiver when the Phillies drafted him in '06. His uncle is Mudcat Grant, who pitched 14 years in the big leagues. Top of the order, Jimmy Rollins, 1 for 4 with a 2-run inside the park homer off the top of the right field wall. And he taps this one on the right side. Lombardozzi on the charge. And another scoreless inning for the Nats bullpen. 4 of those now, with the top of the order coming up, bottom 8. Steven Strasburg coming home tonight to take on Cliff Lee. Didn't work out that way. Stephen Dunn, after 4 innings, the Phillies hit him hard. Kevin Franson got it going with a 2-run homer in the second. Cliff Lee outstanding through 7. And that's been the story pretty much of this one, along with the Jimmy Rollins inside the park home run.
Hard to believe this guy's 1-6 with a 3.95 ERA after you saw what he did tonight. No runs on 5 hits. Pretty much fastball, cutter, changeup combination. I don't think he threw more than 3 or 4 curveballs all night, if that. So just going right after the Nats after he was afforded a little bit of cushion.
One lefty to another. Lift lead to Antonio Bastardo, who's going to make his 42nd appearance. 47 strikeouts in 34 innings. Only 28 hits over that time, and opponents only hitting .220 against him. So how does he have a 5.08 ERA? 19 walks. So he'll walk a couple of guys, give up a hit, and there goes the ERA.
A 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, change, fastball in the low 90s. He likes his slider, throws it 35% of the time.
Lombardozzi, first pitch swinging, easy out. Lance Nix, bottom of the 8th underway. Still waiting for the announcement of the attendance tonight. It'll be a good one. And Bryce Harper, 0 for 3. Coming off a 1 for 12 series with 3 walks when he wasn't feeling well in Milwaukee. And Bryce's batting average now below .260. Facing some tough lefties tonight. Two consecutive breaking balls, and Harper pulling off both.
You can see the body language, a little frustrated, flew out of there a little quick. And he's seen a lot of off-speed away, especially left on left, and 2 sliders to start this at-bat out from Bastardo.
And he will strike out Bryce Harper, who's 0 for 4 tonight with 2 strikeouts. That's 15 of the last 16 Washington hitters retired. We go inside the numbers with SunTrust. And Ryan Zimmerman with 24 RBIs. He will end July with that. A career high 10 homers this month. And the hammer, former Nat Josh Willingham and Mark Teixeira, getting that job done around the major leagues.
And Charlie Manuel's been watching the Nats play all year. He's taking no chances right here.
Wow, how about this?
Taking Bastardo out of the game and going to get Kendrick.
Evidently, Charlie thinks Zimmerman's on deck. Well, it is Danny Espinosa. Hope for a good battle here. With a 6-run lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be right-hander Kyle Kendrick and Danny Espinosa in a moment. Now, if you were out of the market, you'd be right up to date with MLB.tv. That's baseball everywhere you are. On your favorite device in HD quality, every out-of-market game live online. For more details and to order, log on to Nationals.com. 27-year-old Kyle Kendrick, who will have a birthday at the end of this month. He's made 13 starts this year. This will be his 25th appearance overall, and he's in the bullpen. ERA of 4.47.
Yeah, fastball, cutter, curveball change. Only throws his fastball 45% of the time, so he likes the fastball cutter combination. He'll drop a change in there to lefties.
So Danny turns around left-handed, first time tonight. 225 from this side of the plate. But pretty remarkable when you consider the better than 3-month battle he waged to get that thing over 200. Well, they never have resumed that game in Atlanta. Still 4-1. Bottom of the 5th inning against the Marlins. There's that changeup you talked about, huh? 83 diving away from the left-hander.
And probably his best pitch. And he'll set you up with the cutter, get you aware of the fastball in. He'll also front hit that sinker with 2 strikes. Start it right at you. Try to run it back.
And he goes down there with 85. Espinosa thought he foul tipped it. Nats are gone in the 8th, and this 6-0 Phillies lead into the 9th inning. For the bullpen, that would be a good thing looking forward to tomorrow night. And our copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Juan Pierre, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard. Henry will deal with 3 left-handed batters here. He got through the 8th with a walk, a base hit, and a strikeout. And this ball popped up near the tarp, pardon me, the auxiliary scoreboard. Tarp's on the other side, but something for DeRosa to deal with and no way to get to that. By the way, the Phillies also reactivated a former Nat today, Brian Schneider, back off the DL. They're carrying 3 catchers right now. Brian coming off a right ankle sprain, and he's back with the Phils.
I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow night. Edwin Jackson coming off a couple of nice starts. That first game of the doubleheader against Atlanta where he went 7, gave up 5 hits and 1 run, struck out 9. And last time at Milwaukee he was good too. 7 innings, 8 hits, gave up no runs. Remember, he wiggled out of about 3 or 4 jams with runners on second and third. Struck out 4, walked 1. So pretty good matchup tomorrow night, Worley versus Jackson.
Edwin will take a 3.52 ERA into that game tomorrow. And he'll be facing Vance Worley with a 3.88 in 17 starts. He's 5-6 for the Phillies. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Juan Pierre. Now Henry way upstairs. That was a changeup on a 2-2 pitch at 89. Chase Utley 1 for 4 tonight. Juan Pierre 2 for 4. Threw him a strike, and Juan Pierre gets it out of play. Well, Cincinnati just scored in the 7th at home to lead San Diego 7-6. They're battling to have the best record in the National League by the end of the night, which would also be the best in baseball if the Nats or the Reds can win their 62nd game.
A lot of talk about that recently, and it's nice to see where the Nats are, and everybody excited as well as they should be. But I think best record in baseball is overrated. You just want to be the last team playing and the last man standing, and that's the only thing that matters.
The one thing that does help, though, if you have the best record in your league, you are hosting 4 games in the LCS.
Yeah, that's awesome, but how many wild card teams have won the World Series recently?
Well, 2 in a row. And a leap! And off the glove of Lombardozzi. He waited and waited and got up there as high as he could. And Juan Pierre is 3 for 5 tonight.
It didn't hit that hard. Maybe a little change up here to Lombardozzi. He's thinking it's a bullet, jumped a little bit. I was going to say too soon, but he timed it right. Just didn't get up high enough. Timed it perfect.
Here's Chase Utley, base hit in the first inning. Nats will play behind Juan Pierre. He could walk to second base if he wants, but do you want to do that in the first game of the series when you're up by 6?
Well, you could, but Chase Utley would be having a big bruise tomorrow as he comes to the clubhouse. You could do whatever you want.
Henry's fastball, 98 right in there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, the general rule is up by 5 after 5. You shut down your running game. But in some smaller ballparks this year, maybe against more offensive clubs, you'll still see teams steal bases up by 5. But that's the kind of rule of thumb you go by.
I wonder if a 6-0 game is different than, say, a 10-4 game. You know, where there's been offense on both sides. Still a 6-run deficit, but tonight, not a whole lot for the Nats.
Well, I think like in Cincinnati or Milwaukee or Colorado, you throw those rules right out the window because, like we always talk about, a 5-run lead's like a 2-run lead.
Yeah.
The one I never got, and I still don't understand to this day, is when you're behind and they play behind you, that you can't steal. because isn't the object to try to get back into the ball game? But you know, if you're down 6-0 and the team's playing behind you, you run, it'll ruffle some feathers in the other dugout.
Yeah. I don't understand that either. I mean, whatever you can do to get back in the game.
Yeah, I'm supposed to give up.
Three and two, another long count for Henry Rodriguez. Ryan Howard, walk, base hit, reaching on a strikeout tonight. And Pierre not running on a 3-2 pitch, and why bother? 2 on, nobody out. Henry Rodriguez, second walk. He just continues to struggle with control, command, whatever you want to call it. And now the Nats might have to get Drew Storen up when maybe they were hoping to have him pitch a 7th inning tomorrow night. Now, Drew, he has had a couple of days off, hasn't pitched since Saturday night. So he had Sunday and Monday off. But I mean, what does Steve McCaddy say time after time when he goes out to talk to this man?
I would imagine it has something to do with strikes, mechanics, release point, asking Jesus Flores what he's seeing. I think in the big situations when Henry was the closer, it was more about calming him down and trying to get him to relax.
Well, we often say nobody comfortable standing in the batter's box against Henry Rodriguez. Problem is now the defense has been standing around.
Well, I always say, I mean, you get to a point where you're trying to throw a strike. Guys that throw strikes at the major league level throw quality strikes to a corner, in, out, work it around. But if you're not throwing strikes at all and you're just trying to throw a strike, that's when you get hurt, when you get too much plate.
That'll be high in the zone, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Changeup, 91. Howard thought it was a fastball. And that one right side. Lombardozzi, great play. He's robbed Ryan Howard of 2 hits tonight. Won a double play back in the first. This one will move the runners to second and third with 1 out in the 9th.
Yeah, he's not getting any Christmas cards from Ryan Howard. Yeah, first time up, dove up the middle for a 4-6-3 double play, and then this one right here, going in the hole. Great play by Lombardozzi. No, he has plenty of time. Get to his feet. Good throw.
Steve Lombardozzi, and here comes Davey Johnson to take out Henry Rodriguez with Ruiz coming up. Lombardozzi, second base, left field, a little bit at third base. He's made 2 errors all year long. Henry handing Davey the ball. He'll pitch an inning and a third, responsible for a couple of guys on base, and some work coming up for Drew Storen.
balls in batting practice, but it's not the same as the game. And I think it's taken Steve about 3, 4, 5 games to get that rhythm, that game rhythm back at second base after playing a lot of left field. And you see the play here on the 4-6-3 double play. Great job, Espinosa clearing himself for the throw. And then in the 9th inning, Ryan Howard looking for another hit, and him going to his left. So even though you're taking fungos in batting practice, not the same as the game. You remember Andres Torres beating out a ground ball to Steve last homestand. He's starting to feel much more comfortable at second base, his natural position.
And here's a reason why Drew Stewart may be in the game, even though the score's lopsided. David Wright, Aramis Ramirez, and now Carlos Ruiz. Davey is matching him up as much as he can against the best right-handed hitters in the league to get his work. And that'll be a ground ball for an RBI charged to Henry Rodriguez. And the Phillies lead 7-0 on Carlos Ruiz, 58th ribby of the year. But a 1-pitch out for Drew. And right now to the Nats, that's all that matters. Henry responsible for Utley, who's at third, as Lance Nix comes in. But Drew knows if he ends up closing some games this year or next year, those are the kind of guys he has to get out. And Nix will drill a base hit up the middle. 8-0 Phillies. And those 2 runs will be charged to Henry Rodriguez. Closing the book on him in an inning and a third.
Well, Lance Nix was being a good ex-Nat until that at-bat. 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Turns a rough night into a good night. 1 for 4 with an RBI.
That'll bring in John Mayberry, who's doubled, single, and walked. Rodriguez 38 pitches, 23 strikes. Gorzolani, Tom put 3 scoreless innings on the board, 35 pitches and 22 strikes. And that'll be a lot easier for Lombardozzi to Espinosa. And this one going to the bottom of the 9th with Morse, Moore, and DeRosa coming up.
Ninth inning, Nats Extra post-game show presented by WB Mason. About around the corner a little bit. Byron Kerr and Ray Knight getting you ready. And Cliff Leeboy absolutely outstanding tonight. But Steven Strasburg, a rare rough night for him. We haven't seen him pitch like that in quite some time.
No, I haven't. And a lot of fastballs early. One thing that happens in his last outing, he threw a lot of fastballs. The scouts read that. They go back and tell the team that a lot of fastballs first pitch, and these guys were sitting on it.
Well, didn't look too good of the offense either without Ryan Zimmerman, without Adam LaRoche. But you keep on going, guys. Bob and FP try to get something going with a base hit in the bottom of the 9th inning, and you build for the next game.
Thanks, guys. Michael Morse will be the leadoff guy. And this will be right-hander Michael Schwimmer for the Phils. And by the way, Kyle Kendrick, when he got that one out in the 8th, extended a scoreless streak of his to 21 innings out of the bullpen. So they found something with him. And here's Schwimmer to try to get the last 3 outs. If a Nat hits a home run, and it's happened 113 times this year, Washington area Lexus dealers donate $200 to the Children's National Medical Center. Michael has hit 8, 3 of them coming in his 9-game hitting streak. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And he drills one right field line that'll slice foul. That'll be strike 2. Phillies trying to win their 46th game of the year. Coming into this contest, and that's a swing and a foul tip and a strikeout as Ruiz holds on. Phillies record against the National League East, 11-25. It's the worst record of any team in baseball within their own division. So this is a rarity for them. How about that? 11 wins in the division all season until tonight.
And with so much going on in their clubhouse and within their organization today, pretty good effort by them.
Yeah, hats off. I mean, this could have been a horrible night for them. They go out and beat one of the best young pitchers in baseball, and their guy pitches really well. Kevin Franzen says, hey, I'll get some playing time. He was 2 for 3 in one game with the Phillies before hitting that 2-run homer in the top of the second.
Yeah, 2 for 3 Sunday in Atlanta.
And one of his best buddies from his old team, the Giants, Nate Sherholtz, should be showing up tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we got a pretty good hitting coach in A-ball, so probably why he hit that home run tonight.
You taught him his power stroke? Is that what you're telling me?
I taught that guy everything he knows after tonight.
Yeah.
If he went 0 for 3, I would not have been his hitting coach in A-ball.
No, then I would have said it. Swing and a miss. Nothing funny about what's going on tonight. And Moore is 0 for 4, strikes out. Byron and Ray next. WB Mason presents Nats Extra when this one's over. Mark DeRosa is 0 for 3 with 3 swinging strikeouts today. Ryan Zimmerman, Adam LaRoche unable to play. Hopefully at least one of them, maybe both, back in the lineup against a right-hander in Vance Worley tomorrow night. Up and in, 2-0. Cliff Lee, and this is amazing, on July 31st, about to win his 2nd game of the year. And the 121st of his career.
Yeah, after what we saw tonight, hard to believe, huh?
Yeah. Outside, 3-1. Nothing further to report from Atlanta, so you'll have to check on your phones or your mobile devices or your computer later tonight to see if that one ever resumed. But the Nats lead could be down to 2.5 when they take the field tomorrow night. And now a 3-2 count. The Phillies 1 out away from beating the Nats for only the 5th time in the last 18 games. And they do have some fans making some noise here tonight. That's a changeup, and the game is over. Decisive win by the Phils in Game 1 as they beat the Nationals 8-0. Join us tomorrow night right here on MASN HD. Game 2, it'll be Edwin Jackson going for the Nats. 6:30 is Nats Extra. This has been a MASN presentation. Nats Extra brought to you by WB Mason with Byron and Ray straight ahead. And from the booth, so long for just a while.